Good morning. This Sunday, on July 25th, we begin St. Luke's on Broadway by looking at the musical Phantom of the Opera. It's the most successful Broadway musical in history. Been playing for 33 years now. More than 150 million people have seen it. And it's fun looking into it and seeing so many of the different themes and the wonderful stories about those who have been involved and been performing in that musical. One of those is Michael Crawford. Michael Crawford was the original Phantom in West End London and then here in New York. It turned out that he was well known to the British people because he played in a sitcom where his name was Frank Spencer. His role was very childlike, haphazard. He was always stumbling, bumbling over himself. It was a comedy. That's what he was known as. But it also he was a singer. It's just nobody knew it. He was taking voice lessons from a voice coach that was also coaching Sarah Brightman, Andrew Lloyd Webber's wife. And Andrew was waiting to pick his wife up one day after her voice lessons, before her voice lessons, and he heard this voice, and he was so blown away by it, he found out who it was, and it was Michael Crawford. So at the last moment, they made a switch from the person who was going to play the role of Phantom, and he gave the role to Michael Crawford. It was an incredible opportunity for him. Changed his life. And when he sang the first night, the headlines in the newspaper the next day were, "Michael can sing." Everybody thought it was a horrible choice, didn't know what it was going to be until he sang, and he blew everybody away. He loves telling the story of how one night early on in all the performances, he was coming out and he was moving towards Christine, singing his famous song, "Slowly," and he's singing and moving, this powerful moment. And he said there was this lady on the front row, dead center front row, and she had a cell phone. And cell phones were not common in that day. But she's sitting on the front row and it starts to ring in the middle of this beautiful music. And she answers it. She answers her phone and she says, "Hello? Yes, I'm here. Yes, he's singing right now. Listen." And she points the phone towards the stage. Michael said he has a hard time being able to concentrate, and it was so hard that night to stay in character and listening. Yes, listen to him right now. Sometimes people don't think. He got through it. He got through it well enough that in the end, he would play the role of Phantom 1,300 times. In London, in New York, and he would look back and say, "It changed my life." It took him from a bumbling, haphazard comedian to this man who's suave, debonair, the sex symbol around the world, Phantom. No, it changed his life, and he was forever grateful. I have found how often there's those moments that happen that we weren't looking for that truly do change our life forever, maybe in a wonderful way. So far, with all the different people I've been talking to who we're going to be having sing at our St. Luke's on Broadway this year, people who are from Broadway. Since Broadway shut down, this year we have an incredible opportunity, and I love hearing their stories about how some moment in time happened. Erin LaCroix, who's going to be singing the part of Christine Day this Sunday, well, she plays the part of Christine Day on Broadway in Phantom. And she is a great lady of faith. And she talks about how when she was a child, her parents took her to go see Phantom of the Opera. And when she saw that musical, she said to her parents, "This is what I am called to do. And one day I want to play that role." And she has. Moments happen. She talks about it in her life, those moments where things turn. Tamar Green, who's going to be singing the part of going to be singing in Phantom this week as well. He talks about the moments in his life when things just turned and everything was different. I believe in God's grace. God's grace that is constantly trying to move in our lives to bless us in ways we cannot anticipate. We're so very fortunate to be having with us this week Kayleigh Voorhees, who has played Christine Day on Broadway, and Rodney Ingram, who has played Rahul on Broadway. They're singing in our Edmond campus. And I know that they too are people of great faith who can talk about how God has moved in their lives. This Sunday, we're going to be talking about taking off our mask, being able to be who we are, knowing that we are good enough, that we are loved by God, and it's through His grace that we find our way into the future in the most unlikely ways. What a weekend to celebrate. I look forward to worshiping with you.